Want me to explain anything to you?
No, I want to walk through this in Kim's mind. Tell me if anything doesn't sound right, okay?
Sure.
She opened the door, she came in. She saw Franny and Doug on the bed. Franny was unconscious, her dress was torn, and Doug was still attacking her.
Right.
Okay, she came over and tried to talk to him to get him off of Franny, and he didn't listen to her. He didn't even hear her. She sees the crystal cylinder over on the fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
She goes over, she picks it up, and she stabs Doug. Then she rolls the body off the bed and onto the floor, takes out the weapon, and lets it go next to him. Now, she's more concerned about Franny, who is still unconscious.
Well, that's all very logical, Margo, but if Kim stabbed Doug on the bed and pulled the body onto the floor, that cannot explain the slash in the bed hanging here and the blood stain here.
Hal, forget the bed hangings. Kim walks in here, sees a madman attacking Franny. Franny, Bob's daughter, her sister's daughter. He wouldn't listen to her. He never even heard her. Hal, if I were Kim, I would have killed him, too.
Is Mama going to have lunch with us?
Well, she said she's got to check on the feed supply first.
I'm cutting your chicken.
Wow. Give me a break. Makes me feel like Danny.
No back talk. Come on.
All I can say is I can't wait for my hand to heal. Look, I looked at the hayloft. I figure we're going to need about 10 boards out there, okay? And I'll send a man over later this week.
Oh, really? No big rush at all?
No, look, I promised. And it's been way too long already.
Mike called. He said a friend of his who works for Miller Construction Company as a foreman is interested in working for us.
Is any good?
I don't know. I mean, Mike said he was pretty good, but the only time that he can meet with you is at the office at lunchtime.
Well, I can't do that. You're going to have to interview him. I got to get back to the site.
Well, no, it's important. You have to talk to him.
Well, look, I trust your judgment. Well, you talk to him if you think that he's good and the price is right.
No, look, there's no way that I can drop you off at the site and then get back to the office to meet this guy.
I can drive Steve back to the site.
There, fine. See, that's all settled. Now, while you're in town, do you think you could do a favor for me?
I suppose.
Will you please stop and see Betsy, tell her that I've been behaving with my hand and I haven't broken my leg yet.
All right.
Cool. Okay.
All right. Well, I have to see Craig about something anyway.
Great.
So
fine.
there.
All right. And thank you for lunch.
And you're welcome.
Okay.
Oh, listen, before I forget, in case I don't see you before tonight, have a good one.
Oh, thanks. I'm going to need it.
Oh, I don't think so. You'll be great. Okay. See you later.
Right. Well, you're going to be working at the Mona Lisa every night now?
Yeah, if I don't get fired.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Well, I don't know anything about the restaurant business.
Well, look, neither does Craig Montgomery till a few months ago. I mean, he was working for Lucinda Walsh, right?
At Walsh Enterprises?
Yeah, he was her second in command. I mean, he was a big shot.
Why'd he leave?
Well, that's a long story. Ask Ivor sometime.
Already you have me at a distinct disadvantage.
Come on, Mrs. Walsh. You know your newspaper has a responsibility, right?
But not to you,
Well,
surely.
look, I was at the Hughes house last night. I saw firsthand what kind of damage that sort of sensationalistic journalism can cause.
You know, you've got gall. You have got a lot of gall. I am the person who is paying for your residence.
And another thing, you know what? I don't think you're taking care of yourself because your blood pressure's back up, you know
I'm
that?
not the least bit surprised.
Well, I don't think you're taking your medication.
Mind your own business.
This is my business. You're my patient. Are you taking your medication?
Would you tell Dr. Dixon from me not to bother to send you around, because this is it.
Listen, if you care at all about your health, you will listen to what I have to say, because I know what I'm talking about.
Well, I know what I'm talking about, too, and I'm talking about you packing it in. Is everything okay? Yes, darling, I'm absolutely fine, and I take my medicine religiously.
Hallelujah, and watch the salt.
Like a hawk. Can you show yourself out?
Yes, and I hope you think about what I told you.
Here, I can show you the door, Dr. Craig.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Cody. Hi, Tony.
What a smug, self-satisfied young man.
You must listen to your doctors.
Oh, I talked to Earl Mitchell in New York, and everything is going fine.
Good.
As a matter of fact, I was thinking I might go to New York and spend a few days.
I think he'd be delighted and pleased.
Yeah, if you do go to New York, you should take Lily.
Yes, darling, I already thought about that.
Lucinda, I'd like to call Mr. Channing and see if he's returned to his office. I'll use the phone in the...
Yeah. Let's hope you can get him in this time.
Well, good. I wanted a chance to talk to you alone anyway. Now, what happened last night that got you so upset?
Darling, last night, everything is just fine.
But don't tell me that.
No, I mean, why ruin this beautiful day hashing over last night's thing? I mean, it was a tempest in a teapot. Everything is fine, and Lily is just wonderful now.
I still have the feeling it had something to do with Craig.
No.
Did it?
No, it didn't. Cook is fixing your favorite thing, lobster. Well, what did Channing say?
He hasn't returned yet.
Oh. Did you tell Sierra your news?
No, I haven't had a chance.
Well, tell her your news.
Your mother has given me Craig's old office.
And it's being redecorated for Tonio. What Tonio wants, Tonio gets.
Excuse me, Mrs.
No, Matthew, no, nobody. We are lunching.
Sorry, Lucinda, but I really need to talk to you.
I really didn't want to have lunch with you, Mr. Channing. I just wanted to have a chance to talk.
Well, go ahead and talk. I'm listening.
Well, I think you know what I want to talk about. You've been hurting my husband's business very badly, and if it continues like this, he could go under.
Well, I'm sorry about that. But we are competitors, and I do have a right to do what I think is in my best interest.
But you're not. Excuse me, but you've been losing money in all the jobs you've taken away from Steve.
Am I?
Yes, by underbidding him. Look, I know a thing or two about the construction business. I've worked with Steve in his office before. I mean, you must be working at a huge loss.
All right, let's suppose I am.
Well, why? What has Steve ever done to you? I mean, surely you realize now that there was nothing going on between Iva and him.
Perhaps.
Oh. Look, Iva Snyder is a good friend of mine. She's a good friend of Steve's, and that's it. Period. If you're angry with her because she didn't want to pick up with you where you left off, well, that's your problem. Don't blame Steve.
You are very loyal. And I must admit, I find it hard to believe that a man married to you would ever look at another woman. You and your husband obviously come from quite different backgrounds. But why not? That's the American way.
Let's just leave my marriage out of this. You know, another thing I found out, Mr. Channing, was that you hired Steve's best foreman away from him.
Oh, come on. I just got the best man for the job.
Oh, don't underestimate my intelligence here, please. I know that you hired him because you knew he was a key man in Steve's firm, and that's why you got him. But why? It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why you're doing any of this. Especially be at a loss to yourself.
Well, I don't see why you're surprised. I'm sure Iva's told you what a villain I am.
Well, she did tell me she was in love with you at one time. I was, hoping that I could...
That I might have some redeeming human qualities.
Something like that.
Well, I'm sure Iva's given you her version of our relationship. Look, why don't you let me give you my side?